All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweet out so everybody can join in here. 1 second. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this. Good, good, good. Well, I hope everybody had an awesome trading day today and everybody's doing well and healthy and awesome. So, today we're going to be continuing our discussion on detecting trend. Very important stuff, right? So the trend is our friend, right? Until it bends. So today we're going to be talking about clouds. Okay, so the Ichimoku cloud. We're going to be talking about it in a little bit, how it helps us detect trend. Before we do that, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good. All right. Well, let's check and see where we left off in the market today. So here we are. SPX monthly chart. Strong. Strong like bull, right? I mean, very, very nice monthly candle so far. It's pretty amazing how we're using the monthly charts here to kind of see where we're at, right? It's just because the volatility has been so high and the ranges have been so high. We're all the way up here to 28.51.85 high of the day today, almost as high. In fact, we passed the December high, the December 2018 high, and we're basically, it looks like we could just cut through this really quickly to the upside if it wanted to. So pretty interesting stuff there in the monthly chart. It's also holding the cloud, which we'll be talking about here today. So weekly chart held as weekly, that massive weekly trend line we talked about there. Bullish engulfing week here, this big green candle right here, which got some upside movement today. Upside follow through and or this week, and so far we're working on a weekly hammer right off of that oversold level on the RSI and really kind of working its way up here pretty nicely. Daily chart getting a little bit more complex here, right, as trend is working its way up, right? So one of the key things that we've done is we've broken above this downward trend, the macro downward trend line right here, and we've confirmed above it, right? We confirmed above it, we pushed above it. Now, it wasn't pretty, right? Big 100-point candle right here for a big reversal. That's a lot. That's a lot of reversal right there, and then we came back up, right? We got back above again. We held those levels yesterday, and we got some nice follow through today. Now, we are approaching a very key level. Right, this level right here is this recent pivot low. So again, it's very important if for the bears to continue to defend this level. If they can't do it, then we break above that. We got the 50-day, the 200-day, and then of course we have the cloud, right? So, but again, the trend is up until proven otherwise. So everything we talked about this week, we're above the trend line right here. We're above the 8 and 21 moving averages, right? So, and the 8's above the 21. So, so generally bullish until proven otherwise, right? So we just continue to follow that trend. Let's take a look at the price action here today, and you'll see. Although we had some nice downside opportunities because the trend has been working its way up, we had a nice gap up today. We defended the gap, right? Came back down. We had a nice little spinning top candle right here, and that gap was defended, right? And then since the trend is up, we look for nice upside moves. Inside 15 up right here. Inside 15 sideways worked its way up, and we closed above the 15 orb high, right? So if we go to today's levels here, these are the levels that we provide to our members before each market open, and you can see here today how important these levels played out, right? We got to the R3 level at the end of the day. This is just exactly this 5-minute chart here. We gapped up right here. We defended the gap and held these levels, right? And had some strong candles right here. The strong candle got us to the next level up here. This prior old weekly gap fill, right? Came back up to the R3 level and finally tagged that before we just kind of chopped a little bit into the close today. So pretty interesting stuff. So good. So today we're going to be talking about detecting trend, right? And today we're going to be talking about clouds. So we've already talked about trend lines. We've talked about moving averages. So the clouds, the Ichimoku cloud, is a very, very interesting one, right? So what it does is it basically is a calculation based on moving averages, right? So it's pretty neat stuff. So let's take a look at the, and you can use them on any time frame. But let's take a look here on the daily chart. In fact, let's go to the bar chart right here. And let's pull up a cloud. Let me get a fresh screen up here. Okay, and then I'm just going to go to studies here in Thinkorswim. Whatever one you use, you just type in Ichimoku. It doesn't say cloud in this one; it just says Ichimoku, right? So you put it on there, and what it does is I have mine defaulted. It comes with a lot of lines. I take out a lot of the lines. The only stuff I really care about when I do clouds is the span A, which is the first part, is this line right here. It's the outside of the cloud here. It's the faster moving one, right? And what that does, it takes a 26 calculated moving average and projects, or it takes a calculated moving average and projects it forward 26, right? 26 26 bars, whatever the case is. Okay, and then the other one is your span B, and that takes the that's the second boundary, right? It takes the midpoint of the last 52 bars. Right, so it's basically like 52 periods move forward, right? And it goes a little bit slower than the other one, right? And so what it does is it automatically fills in the distance between these two, Okay, it fills in the distance between the two and it colors them in, right? So if it's a bullish cloud, right, if your span A is over your span B, right, it makes it green, right? And if your span B is over your span A, right, it makes it red. Okay, so pretty cool stuff, right? So let's take a look here and see how it looks. Right? So let's see. So it's sort of like a moving average, right? You see how the cloud itself is just kind of working its way up right here. It takes those moving averages, projects them forward. That's one of the things I really like about the cloud is that it projects it forward. It's one of the only only indicators out there that's forward-looking. Now we looked at the alligator last week, like when we were looking at chop slop. That gives you some forward-looking type stuff. The cloud, I like how it projects forward a little bit. So you can see right here, we're already ahead, right? 26 candles from the moving averages from this downside move right here. So just picture a moving average right here, right? It takes that, right, and it pushes it over 26 points, right? And then it puts this one over, puts that over 26 bars, right? So it takes those moving averages, projects it forward. What I like about it is it gives that forward-looking move, and you can see how we're approaching it. Now the cool part about it, right, is algos respect it because a lot of traders respect it, and it's definitely real, right? So when you come up to it, we've talked about clouds before. We've got a whole series on it. How it could be support and resistance. Key breakouts through those clouds, right, can be very important. Like you see here, right? So as we're trending up, we have a green upward moving cloud, right? As we're kind of, continue to work our way up. And once we got through it, right, we closed bearishly through it right here on the daily chart, right? We really worked our way down, right? So that really helps to show that the trend is changing. And so you can see here that trend change, it shifted the cloud over, right? And now we can look at that as a potential area of resistance. So now we are downtrending, right? Because it's continuing to move down. Okay, and the cool part about it, what I really like, is it really offers a reminder of what happened in the past. Right, so the thicker these clouds are, right, it shows like big congestion zones, right? So this is, we had a big congestion zone right here, so it's looking like congestion right here. Right, and so when we get to this cloud, right, it reminds you that we had downside movement in this area, right? So when we get to it, it basically represents these areas of like resistance, right? So you come here and you see some resistance right here. You get to it, shows a little bit of resistance. It reminds you that we may go into some selling pressure right there and continue to follow this trend down. So it's a really, really cool tool. We use it a lot in the group, and it's just a great thing to use, right? As long as the cloud is held, right, you can see some nice, strong movement, right? So you can see here that the cloud started to shift to the downside right here after we broke out of the cloud here and showed you your downtrend move here, right? And then we finally broke above it, right, which is kind of held, all-time highs, broke down below the cloud. Now we're coming back and testing again. So right now the overall trend for this macro picture is down, even though we're moving up here. But it's a cool thing because you don't necessarily have to look at his trend. You just look at his resistance, and then once you get to it, then you could be like, uh-oh, we might be moving back down off of this thing. So it could be very, very interesting. We're coming up to a very important level, important area here in the market as we approach this cloud, right? So you're looking at, kind of the end of April, if we continue to move this way, or possibly in the next couple days, to see how it handles that cloud and to see if it wants to continue that trend down. So good stuff. And like I said, you could use this on any time frame. You could take it as low as the 1 minute chart, right, and trade it intraday, right? So here's just the SPX intraday stuff here today, right? So we broke out of this level right here. It started to show the projected movement upside, got to it here, right here, broke back above it again, came back to it. Couldn't confirm above an upper shadow, right? Came back down here, and then it broke down below the cloud, gave you a move down. Trend was down until it broke back above it again, right? You could do it with the futures, right? So we go here. In fact, let's take a look at the futures here this evening. So we can see here, we're chopping around a little bit this evening, right? But you can see here, look how nicely it kind of guided us down, that nice little trend there. Every time it tagged that cloud, it moved down. It tagged the cloud, moved down. Now, right now, the MES is tagging it right now, and look, it's trying to break out of it, right? So the micros here are trying to break out of this cloud. So let's see if it can do that. Otherwise, it may continue the trend. Now, you can see how it's projected forward right here. But the cool part is you can actually start to see it change color. This is live, right? We're seeing this right now on the futures. So right here, this is starting to turn green. So if we break out of this, right, we may go like this. We may come up. We may retest this cloud right here. And then as we continue to move up, these moving averages get projected forward, and then this will turn green and be a green cloud moving up, right? And then we may continue to work our way up the cloud, right? So it's really, really cool stuff. So a great tool to use both on the intraday time frames, any time frame you could use it on. And it just works, right? Here's the 15-minute chart, right, of the MES. Well, it paints a whole different picture, right? So in this, according to the 15-minute chart, we're still trending up, right? We're still holding this 15 cloud. So very, very powerful stuff. Works on all time frames. We like it on the daily, weekly, monthly. Let's go to the monthly real quick. Let me put back the daily right here. Okay, so you can see the futures here. But let's go back to the monthly chart and you just kind of see where we're at with the cloud. I'll go back to the SPX because not much may be established on it yet for the micros because they haven't been out for very long, right? So, but if you kind of zoom out here on the monthly chart, right, you can see how important that cloud was, right? It continued to hold the bull market move right here. We broke down below the cloud, got bearish, saw it red here for a while. That represented that down move. Couldn't find it as resistance, came back up again, right? Tried to hold it, couldn't bounce off it, broke down below the cloud, bear market territory, right? Back up again, up, held the cloud. Now we're good, right? Above the cloud. I love it when it's moving, when you have a nice distance between it, like even distance, and you're following it up like this. Very, very bullish stuff. And you can see here the monthly chart just recently came back and tagged it, right, and bounced off of it. So let's see if that continues to hold this bullish trend up, right? The monthly cloud is still green. This is a different color right here, but just the default color in Thinkorswim. But pretty cool stuff. Anyway, so hopefully you guys found that helpful. Hopefully you guys be able to use the clouds to help your trading. And at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window. We'll get through as many as we can, try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all have an awesome night's sleep and have a great trading day tomorrow. So good stuff. All right, good. So Shirley sent a few in by email. Let's take a look at these. So we've got DAL. Okay, Delta Airlines, big stuff after hours, right? It sounds like the Fed and like the airlines have made like a deal in principle, right, for bailing them out basically during this this Corona crash. And Delta's got a nice move up here after hours, right? It's up pretty significantly as well. You'll see UAL, right, up as well. We're seeing that with a lot of those. You pretty much put down every one of them, right? Love, right? Save, right? AAL. Right, all the airlines are up pretty decently here after hours. So let's see if they get any follow through tomorrow. You can keep those on your 15 orb radar into tomorrow. Inside day here off of AAL, by the way. So good stuff there. You also have IEMG. Okay, so IEMG. So this is a ETF right here. So again, this one, if you just kind of go to your trend lines right here, we're starting to break out above a good volume today. Let's see if we can get a bullish candle above that, right, to kind of confirm and see if it wants to move up any higher. Microsoft. Ooh, strong candle on Microsoft today. That really was nice. So look at that, it closed above the cloud, right? So this is showing that it might want to shift trend, right? So it's already obviously shifted trend out of these trends right here, but this is a huge move here on Microsoft. Great volume today, and this is definitely going to go on the bullish radar for tomorrow. So that's a good one there. Let's take a look. Can you guys believe tomorrow is Wednesday already? I almost forgot it was Tuesday today. I was like, what day is it? Let's take a look here. So we got that. Let's get these guys on here. We've got some earnings tomorrow. We've got Goldman Sachs tomorrow is going to be interesting. We've got UNH tomorrow should be interesting. Right? We've got the airlines. So those should be interesting too. So let's keep Microsoft on the bullish radar tomorrow, so you can say follow through above today's high if it doesn't push above it already. So good stuff there. All right, got that updated on the list. Good. Thank you, Shirley. Bagash, what's going on? Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look, see what we got going on. So we got Tesla. So Tesla is interesting, right? So Tesla, had a strong day yesterday. We talked about it had relative strength on Thursday, which was the last day of the week last week, with increasing volume. Got obviously some huge volume tomorrow as it squeezed out a lot of shorts. And today, it squeezed out even more shorts because it gapped up like 60 points, right, or so. And continued to work its way up. And then look where it is. It's in the cloud. So the cloud can be kind of sticky up here. It's kind of like a quicksand or a gooey, bog, right, for price to hang out in, right? So at this point here, we're kind of in the cloud, so it could hold that as long as it defends this level right here. It could be bullish. Obviously, it's bullish, still proven otherwise here, but the upper shadow is the only thing that's concerning. But if it gets, if it works its way up, gets above this cloud, this thing could work its way to who knows, over 1,000 for whatever reason, even though they're not selling any cars right now. But anyway, it is what it is. It's up there. So let's see if that can continue to hold. Apple, let's take a look. Apple had a great day today. Apple pierced the cloud. Right, so it's showing it wants to kind of change this trend move right here, right? So let's see if it can get above that and try to work its way up on Apple. But good move today, good volume. Roku, nice gap up today, right? Nice gap. This is from our intraday stuff. Nice gap. The whole day ended a 4-minute triangle today, but nice gap up. And, on their improved numbers, good volume here. It held its 50-day moving average with the lower shadow. Let's see if we can close above this level here bullishly and try to get into the cloud. Right, clouds also make good targets. Shop, let's take a look. Shop, very nice today. Look at that, closed above a thin cloud, right? So just pierced right through there. Bullish candle, Good volume. Let's see if that can work its way up. We got a little bit of resistance right there, potential. See how it holds into that on shop. And then NVIDIA. NVIDIA, amazing stuff, guys. This is such a crazy little move to got here, right? So bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bullish, right? So decreased volume yesterday too, but it gave a nice move, nice gap and go today, right? Once it got above this level here, got above the macro trend line, right? So now let's see if we can actually confirm above today's highs and continue to work its way up, right? So NVIDIA is poised to move. You know, it's kind of in the middle of the range there between earnings stuff, so it's one of the last ones to report. So let's see if we can get some momentum there up till then. Could be cool. And then back, you sold TDOC, just that it doesn't eat premiums and boom after hours of fires. I know, right? Yeah, TDOC reported some crazy numbers. Like they said that they've 100% increase. 100% increase in their users. You know, it's so weird how these companies come out with this stuff. But they did it right here at this geometric trend line right here. So now we should be gapping above that. You know, but hey, it's pulling back a little bit right here. At a big move off of those numbers, kind of back, you know, at today's highs. So TDOC's a funky one. It's a tough one to trade, so don't worry about it if you took a little profit on it. So that's good. Michael, what's going on? Good to see you. Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Bagish. Yeah, can you also talk about the bull flag you mentioned on Roku? What do you see in the daily chart example? Roku set up the bull flag now in TDOC. Yeah, so TDOC right here is kind of in this crazy megaphone thing, right? I mean, it's really in between this range right here, right? So this geometric level is going to be kind of key for it to get above. You could look at it as a funky bull flag right here. So let's see if we end up giving a strong candle yesterday, right? We'll see, you know, see if that kind of gives you that confirmation and pushes above that flag. So with Roku, right? So I tweeted about this earlier. So with Roku, if we go back here to the daily chart, right? One of the things we could see here is this, right? So we had a nice breakout move on Roku, huge candle for it, right? And then you got some little bit of follow through, and then it's kind of petered out a little bit, right? So this little petered out stuff is, you know, taking profit and all that stuff, but it's still holding, right? It's still holding its level. So this is what forms a bull flag, right? So that's formed the flag right there. We tried to break out here, it got its, you know, tip above it right there, and then it gapped above and came back in and retested it. So then it got kind of choppy, right? So we had this inside day, and then we closed above it. We had a fresh high and a fresh closing high, right? So that was looking pretty good. And then yesterday, increased volume and closed above it confirmed, right, above those breakouts right there. And then today was the follow through, right? You got nice follow through today on that bull flag. Okay, so the same thing happened with Amazon, right? So if we go back on Amazon too, right? So Amazon had a flag right here as well, right? So it was flagging, right? Just kind of doing this little sideways downward consolidation. It tried to give a breakout move right here, failed, right? Came back in the flag. That's annoying, right? You know, if you're trading this, they're trying to look for a momentum play out of the flag, right? But flags are usually not this short, right? They can be, but then you had this, right? So this is key, right? So this day right here, this candle right here, good volume, huge move right at the top of the cloud, right? And confirmed above the bull flag breakout, and then it started to go. Now, it was drifty, right? We talked about this on the live streams. We talked about this. We were like, okay, this could be a doji sandwich, and it sure was. It really worked its way up. But it had relative strength all the way through this, right? It had relative strength as volume was increasing too. Nice volume here this day on this little doji. A big volume on a doji could mean something interesting, especially when it closes pretty close to the highs of the day, or pretty close, you know, to a bullish candle. Right? Then we got some big follow through on that when it was over, right? So it came back, filled this gap, tagged these levels yesterday, and then it just drifted up after hours today and gave you a true gap and go and move today on Amazon. So those flags can be very helpful. So look for those breakouts and those confirmations on it. That's kind of one of the key deals of that. Good. ZEK, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look. So we got Boeing. Let's take a look at Boeing here. Okay, so Boeing, yeah, if anything, is kind of struggling a bit here. I'm actually going to put it on the short radar for us so we have something on there. You know, so they have that one, and what was the other one that we were looking at too? Yeah. Because NVIDIA is bullish. I mean, all this stuff is bullish. So, yeah, but it's nice. NVIDIA is actually a pretty strong candle right there. Let's keep an eye on that one too. Okay, good. All right, good. So yeah, so with Boeing, right, look what's happening with the trend, right? Here's your 8 and 21 moving average. We talked about that yesterday. Here's your trend line, right? So everything's kind of trending down, right? But we're haven't confirmed above it. Here's your first breakout candle, which I'll have this line right here, right off of that guy. But right now, the 8 is still below 20, but they're getting flat, right? They're getting flat. So right now, the trend is kind of like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. We're in the chop slop on Boeing. We really are. But, you know, if we had good volume on a downward candle today. We're below the 80 MA. We confirmed below it. So it may come back down, try to break down below this trend line. If it does, right, then it may actually come back and start testing these gaps below, right? So, but right now, we're still kind of chop sloppy on it. But look for it. If the market's weak tomorrow, it might be something to keep an eye on. Good. And then GSX. huge candle or huge volume today on GSX, right? So big move right there. That's bullish in a way, right? So you can see not too much going after hours here, but that's bullish that it kept that lower shadow right there and stayed within this range, right? So now we just kind of have to look at it and see if we can kind of get above this stuff, right? So you got this right here. There's your trend line. Let's see if we can confirm above today's high with some decent volume into the cloud. Might try to work its way up to the top of it. So that could be interesting. KR Kroger. Yeah, so Kroger, gave some nice breakout moves right here and then kind of pulled back a lot. Now it's just kind of in the blah. Just like all these kind of Corona plays are in this crazy diamond pattern, right? It's like a megaphone, then it kind of comes into like a triangle, right? So, it's kind of in this blah range. I assume you can break out of these levels. And then OPK. Opco, nice candle today. Big push out of this kind of crazy range right here. It's right at some resistance levels, right? If we kind of go back a little bit, you see that guy right there? A little bit of resistance right there. So let's see if we can get above that over the 200-day moving average. But it was a nice move. When it was moving, you get that target right there, right? So you get that nice little, I'm going for the target, and then it was dripping down after hours a little bit. But anyway, nice one on that. Nice move today. Nice volume. Good stuff. Ernesto, what's going on? Yeah, let's take a look at Ford Motor Company junk bond status, right? So here's your downward trend line right here, right? And started to break out above this, couldn't hold on to it with volume, right? And then so that's kind of your level. We want to see if we close above bullishly, see if anything wants to get any farther up. And but good stuff. Jay, just in time, yeah. Trying to figure it out. Nice, cool, good to see you, man. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm sure you'll be surprising me with some names that maybe I haven't seen before. The Nest, yeah, let's take a look at Docu. Docu, again, still tricky. This is another one of those that has been challenging in this crazy range. So right now, it's at the top of the megaphone. Okay, a little bit of an upper shadow right here, but good breakout moves, right? Nice breakout of this diamond pattern, right? Diamond continuation pattern. Good move yesterday, decent volume, and then got some follow through today on that one. So see how it handles these that top of that megaphone. Okay, might be an interesting reversal. Nugget. Yep, Nugget still doing its thing. Strong candle yesterday, decent follow through today, good volume, right? So it had a nice move at the open day. It was interesting this morning. Everything was ripping, including gold, and then gold kind of tempered off there at the end of the day. ATVI. Absolutely. Nice candle yesterday. Good follow through again. We talked about this. These are not the high beta names, but it was a nice breakout of that geometric level right here. And got a little bit of follow through to the upside. Again, remember ex-dividend today. Kind of pulled back a little bit. See if it holds. It might consolidate here. Again, the next key level is going to close above those recent highs on ATVI. Yeah, Jay, good to see you. What do we got? So we got Bank of America. Bank of America. All right, so we've got earnings tomorrow morning on this one. So let's just take a real quick look at JP Morgan real quick and see how it behaved today. Right, so it had earnings today. It took the inside day down, but actually held some key levels, even with the most abominable earnings of all time. So if anything, that might just show you that, hey, it could miss tomorrow and still be okay. Right, so it had a lower shadow here off the ADMA today, so let's see if it gives us anything. Actually, it is kind of looking like a little 3-candle bull flag right there, so see if we can get above that and confirm above it. Right, Johnson & Johnson, earnings today. Not really a gap and go, right, because it gapped right into some prior selling pressure areas, right, but ended up giving a spinning top on that one. BMY. Hey, these are all names these are all more common names. Good stuff. Yeah, so BMY here, upper shadow, right, so it's basically just kind of giving you a fresh geometric line right here. So let's see how it handles these areas in the cloud. And SPCE. Big candle today on SPCE. Actually, almost a breakout candle. Right? The only issue is that's right at the 50-day moving average right here with an upper shadow, right? So this is what we were looking for. We're looking for a breakout. Remember we drew this right here, a breakout of this triangle. So we got that today. And now with this, and it broke out over these, it closed above these. So look for some follow through on SPCE tomorrow if we can get above today's highs. And then Starbucks. Starbucks had, I know it's a little doji today, but it actually had some pretty good moves today. Pretty good moves inside 15 up here. It's pretty good. Now it's kind of blah after hours. So anyway, doji right here at the 50-day moving average on Starbucks, unfortunately. Good stuff. Heather, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Love the clouds. Yeah, clouds are awesome. They really are. They give a lot of clarity, and they give you a lot of reminder of what's going on, right? So it just gives you good stuff. So good. I don't use all those other lines that it comes with, right? The 10 cans, the key chews, and all that stuff. It's just is not necessary for the way we trade. But some people do do well with it. Jay, what's going on? You really want to figure this cloud out? You tend to overtrade. Yeah, cloud's really, really helpful. Absolutely. And then we got a whole series on it, right? If you go back to the YouTube channel, we got a whole series on clouds, and then we got the 3-minute one on clouds too. That really helps on the 3-minute technical analysis series. So good. The Nest, what's going on? mRNA. Let's take a look. Yeah, Moderna. Yeah, it's starting to kind of get back up here. You got some decent moves today. So a couple of these had some strong stuff. Right, it might be down a little bit. I think Guild had a good after hours move off of the. Yeah, it was just. I thought it was drifting up a little bit. I heard it was drifting a little bit after hours. But anyway, yeah. So mRNA. Gosh, that's a mess. mRNA is working a little bit better right here. It's got some crazy resistance levels. It may want to test this high, right? But it's just very, very tricky right here. But decent candle day, good volume. Let's see if we get some follow through. Good stuff, Brian. What's going on? KSS, Coles. All right, it's kind of hang out. I mean, I don't even know if this thing is even still in business, but yeah, I mean, these ones are like a lot of these retailers, furloughing employees. I'm just running off of just kind of surviving off of their leverage and all that stuff. So, but anyway, here we go. Inside day today. So let's see if we can do anything right here. So it's again a nice strong close above this breakout pivot. If we can close above that, go with some volume, we may start to work our way up to the cloud there on that one. It's good stuff. Samira, yeah, Microsoft, beautiful, beautiful chart on that one. It's huge breakout candle today, big volume, closed above all the breakout pivots, and closed bullishly above the cloud at its highs. All right, so very, very nice move today on Microsoft. We're going to look at that one bullishly tomorrow, see if we can get some follow through. Right, and then SLV. SLV, yeah, so good. Not as strong as gold, but still doing pretty good right here. It did close above these pivot levels with some good volume today, so let's see if that can move up a little bit. Watch the 50-day moving average on that one. Cool one. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, QCOM. Beautiful intraday moves on this one today. Beautiful ones. And nice close above the 50 moving average. This is a really pretty candle today. And I mean, I know it doesn't look exceptional, but big momentum move right here. And this hammer here was key. This thing really gave a nice move to the high of the day. It was just a great trading opportunity. Upper shadow, upper shadow, upper shadow, upper shadow, and then just boom off of that. So I mean, it was nice intraday today, and ended up finishing with a good candle. So see if that gets some follow through. Good volume today too. Boeing on the other end of the spectrum, right, a little bit weak, right? I mean, I think it had, it's drifting up after hours a little bit, but nice, this was it right here, right? Look at that inside 15 right there. It finally just kind of crushed down out of the 15 order below there, and then the max news came out. What a great one to be on that. And then close below the 80 MA today. See how it handles that retest of that downward trend line. Osiris, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Tuning out the noise. Good to hear. FMC double inside day, right? Double inside day on this one. This is an interesting one. Okay, you got a nice little triangle forming right here. So a triangle within a triangle, right? So you got this going right here. Those double inside days form nice triangles, right? So see if we kind of break out here, and then watch your other triangle levels, right? Your other geometric levels too. Okay, you got your cloud right there getting a little thin too. So good, Bagash, yeah, my pleasure. Mike, what's going on? Yeah, BAC earnings tomorrow. Earnings tomorrow for BAC, so definitely on the 15-hour radar for tomorrow, along with the airlines, right? So possible bull flag forming right here. Okay, so let's see if we can break above that, confirm above it, maybe get a little move up. We'll see what they have in store for tomorrow. If it's anything like JP Morgan, right, they should have abominable earnings, but you never know because it's the Bank of America. And Lakeland Industries. So this one's getting, does this do anything after hours? Yeah, it's drifting up here after hours. That's looking pretty good. But again, you got this huge move up here. So just kind of keep an eye on it. See, there's your trend line, right? Nice kind of triangle. And nice, it was not true trend line, but geometric line. And let's see if we can break above that tomorrow, right? Some good volume. We got earnings. Oh, you got earnings too? Oh, yeah. So earnings after the close. So, binary event. So see how that holds. Could be interesting. Good. Yeah, my pleasure. Michael, yeah, what else? You got TNDM. TNDM looking pretty good right here. So we got nice little triangular action right here. So just kind of keep an eye on that. See if we can break above these levels or below these levels, right? See if we get some move, right? You got some cloud, right? A little thin cloud here. Sometimes I love when these things navigate through those thin clouds right there. I like to call it Thor's twins. If anybody ever saw Red October, nice little move here between the big canyons right here. It's like, oh, we made it, right? So that's sometimes a good little area to keep an eye on right there. But yeah, kind of consolidating there too. Any news after hours? No, just kind of chopping around there. Good. Good stuff. Jay, what's happening? Yeah, FedEx. Let's take a look. Oh wow! So we already have a triangle on this one, so it's doing the same thing. Right? Failed to take the inside day up, came back in and kind of closed at yesterday's high. So right now we're still contained within this mother bar, right? So it's forming basically a triangle within a triangle here, right? So see if we can break out and break out one way or the other. So that could be interesting as well. So good stuff, guys. Awesome. Great request tonight. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Love going over the clouds and all these topics. So if anybody's new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube. And also anybody here, we also like when you hit the like button. That's always much appreciated as well. And then be sure to check out the links in the description too. You'll see our website and our Twitter page if you don't see us there, during the day anyway. So good stuff. But really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Awesome chart requests. We're going to keep this up. We're going to talk about more methods of detecting trend tomorrow and Thursday. So I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your evening. And thanks, guys. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Michael. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Praveen. So I hope everybody has a great evening. And stay healthy out there. And remember your risks first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.